감싸준 그대 when I look into your eyes. Someday 영원할
Welcome everyone. Welcome to my channel, Inner Awakening. And let me begin by asking you a question. Has it ever happened to you that you know what to do? You want to grow in your life. You know how you want to move ahead, but still somehow you keep stopping yourself. You keep giving excuses, you keep sabotaging your own life. Day in, day out, you keep thinking about what is keeping me stuck? What is it that is keeping me stuck? So if this is something that has been bothering you for a very long time, then today's video is going to be absolutely important for you. Okay. So let me know in the comments if you are here. Just hit the emoticons so that I know that you're here. And as we move forward, I'll be talking a lot about how you sabotage your life, right? How you sabotage your own, your own answers, your own life in such a way that you know that this is not going to be healthy for me, or if I avoid doing this, it's not going to help me, it's not going to serve me in the long run, but still you end up doing it, right? So you might have had these thoughts that, maybe I'm lazy. You tell yourself that discipline is the problem in my life. I can't be disciplined, I can't be consistent in my life, Apurva, right? But deep down, you know that that's not the whole truth, right? You know that that's not the whole truth. When you were able to do certain things, you were able to do, right? Nothing was stopping you at that particular time. You might wonder that, sometimes I'm able to do it, sometimes I'm not able to do it. Why is this happening? So today we are going to dig deep into why and where exactly it's coming from, and I'll share with you some small steps that you can take towards coming out of this self-sabotage. Okay. You might also have this thought that, you may start strong. You want, you enroll for some course, you enroll for some program, and you start very strong, and then quietly you pull back, right? And that has been a cycle with even some of my students. They want to finish, they want to be the finishers, but somewhere something stops them, right? And the cycle keeps repeating again and again and again and again, right? And then what happens is you keep blaming yourself. Why do I keep doing this? Calling yourself undisciplined, right? But the real answer goes much, much deeper. Self-sabotage means that there is some internal conflict that is happening, So this is not self-sabotage. This is self-protection. Okay. Self-protection. Now, the story that you tell yourself, right? The story that you tell yourself, you start something, you set goals, you tell yourself that, what, I will be doing this for sure, right? That's me for sure. I understand, I understand where it comes from. And then, you delay. You dream big, but you play small. And then you blame yourself, right? Calling yourself lazy, undisciplined, and not good enough, right? Now, that inner critique feels so familiar, so automatic, right? You've started to believe it. You've started to believe that inner critique so much that now any given point of time, there is a thought in your mind that, you know what, I feel I should do this program. But then there is another thought that as it is, you're not going to finish. What's the point? Let's not waste money, right? The truth underneath is, see, what looks like self-sabotage is, it's not a character flaw. It's not something that you're born with, right? It is not even the motivation problem that, you know what, I don't feel motivated. That's not even laziness. What it is that it is your system, your nervous system, doing exactly what it was trained to do, keep you safe. And that changes everything. Now, if you think about those moments which you keep procrastinating, keep putting onto the next day, keep telling yourself that maybe I'm not fit for this particular work. Understand this, that it is not your character that is talking, but it's that fear, that's intense fear of what if I fail, what if I do this and something terrible happens to me, what if I do this and I succeed, and after the success, I don't know, I feel overwhelmed, what will I do with all that success, right? So self sabotage is not a mindset problem, it is a nervous system memory, right? It comes from a space where, as a child, um, the need of being seen, being confident, need of making mistakes were shunned, right? You were told that you can't make mistakes. You were told that, you amount to no good, right? And your brain, wired for survival, encoded a simple lesson: visibility is dangerous, right? Visibility is dangerous. If I'm visible, if I'm going out there, if I'm speaking on camera, there are so many of my students who are not able to even come on camera and show themselves, because that is the kind of conditioning that has happened with them, that if you show up yourself, you are open to vulnerability, and vulnerability is not good for us, right? That's what is taught to us. Growth is threatening, is actually threatening to your body, because as a child, when you were growing, when you were expressing your feelings, expressing your emotions, what happened was you were told that you can't. You have to shun yourself. You have to play a smaller game. You have to shrink yourself. I still remember as a child, when I would take some time to express. So right now, of course, it's coming in flow. But as a child, I was fidgety. I would take some time, take a lot of time to answer or express my views on any particular thing. And I was continuously being told that speak fast. Okay, don't waste our time. Speak fast and get it over with. And that, at the outset of it, that might feel that theek hai na, it's okay. If you were told to speak fast, what's a big deal in it? But as a child, I inherited this belief that maybe if I take time, I'm wasting people's precious time. I'm taking time, right? I'm borrowing time from them, and maybe I shouldn't be myself. I cannot take time. So what instead I would do, I did for a very long time as an adult also, I wouldn't speak up. I wouldn't speak up my own values. I wouldn't share my own values, because I would shrink in that moment. I would shrink myself, that it's better not to speak, rather than taking and wasting other people's time, because I am very conscious of taking a lot of time, right? So rather than speaking up and taking a lot of time, let me not speak up. So that is how I started suppressing my own voice, and that actually manifested in thyroid, right? Now, when I understood that it was my inner child wound that kept me stuck, that kept this thyroid to happen, and when I healed myself from all the conditioning that I have been through, I was able to heal my thyroid. Okay, so that is the power of this work that we do here. Okay, so you can easily and effortlessly heal your health, right? Heal in every aspect, rather, heal in every aspect of your life, not just health, but growth, career, money, relationships, for that matter, right? And so that's what happened with me. I would like to let me know if this resonates. Okay, this let me know if this resonates with you. Give me resonate in the comments. Um, and that memory, lives in your body, not just your mind. Your body is your unconscious. I always say this: your conscious, subconscious is in your mind. But your body is your unconscious. It remembers every single thing that has happened with you throughout your life. And it activates every single time you are about to do something that matters. I want you to reflect back. When exactly have you, you wanted to make a decision. Maybe you wanted to do a program. When you wanted to invest in in some course. When you wanted to lose weight. When you wanted to maybe eat healthy. What has been the two thoughts, those two conflicting thoughts that automatically or eventually led you to self-sabotage, right? Because you're in that moment, it was not your adult self that was making a decision, it was your inner child making a decision, right? So maybe you were judged as a child, maybe you were compared to siblings or cousins, maybe you were punished simply for trying, right? Whatever the experience, what happened was your younger self drew a very logical conclusion. If I don't try, I can't fail only, no? If I don't try at all, that's good, right? If I stay small, I won't be hurt, right? If I don't shine, I'll be safe. So dimming your light felt like the only way to keep the peace and earn love. Now, what happens is, as an adult, uh, that's exactly the opposite of what we truly want. We want to be successful. We want to be seen as respectable, right? We want to be seen as successful. We want to be seen as, uh, you know, uh, successful in every area of our life, right? But a part of you is still scared. A part of you still thinks every time you're about to grow, to post that content, send that email, start that project, your nervous system pulls you back. Not because you are weak, but because, and not even because you don't want it badly enough, right? Sometimes if we, maybe I don't want it badly enough, but it's because a younger version of you learned that growth was followed by pain, right? And that wisdom kept you safe for so long. If this is making sense, give me MS in the chat box or the comments below, right? So, what are the signs that you may be self-sabotaging? You procrastinate, you overthink, you delay decisions, you start but never finish. You fear success as much as failure. So, success means, as I mentioned, visibility, expectations, and change, right? So, all of which feels a little threatening, right? So, what are the few approaches or powerful shifts that you can make in your life? Those small shifts that you can bring in your life so that you stop sabotaging yourself, you stop procrastinating, you stop getting into that perfectionistic cycle, vicious cycle of perfectionism, where only if I am, only if this is perfect enough for me, I think I'll be able to do it, right? So the first approach that I want to share with you all today is, see, there are going to be two approaches, right? The old approach says push harder, force discipline, judge yourself for falling short, right? Fight your resistance with willpower, treat yourself like an enemy to be conquered, right? It's like this, there are two people literally fighting with each other. There's a good boy and bad boy, right? Good girl, boy, bad girl, and they are fighting with each other, right? But the new approach that I want you to bring in is, number one is understand what the resistance is protecting you from, right? Number two, meet yourself with curiosity, not criticism, right? Number three, work with your nervous system, not against it. So when I say nervous system, uh, so in our 60 days program, we definitely work on our nervous system. We definitely work on how we can calm it, how we can forgive others, how we can heal our mother wound, father wound, how we can understand our own personality codex, how we can be in the present so that we can take better decisions in our life. So all of this, I take you through this entire journey. And then the last thing is treating your scared inner child with safety, right? So start with understanding yourself, right? So if you really want to move from self sabotage to self mastery, right? From self sabotage to self mastery, number one, the first step of it is catching the pattern gently, right? Awareness, catching the pattern gently, not blame game, no blame game, no no urge to judge yourself, right? Take a deep breath and ask one simple question: what am I actually feeling right now? Okay. If that is a fear of being judged, exposed, or rejected, if you try, it may be shame of not being good enough, right? Even before you begin, right? That happens with so many of us. Even before we act, the shame shows up. And third is pressure of impossible standards you feel you must meet. That is perfectionistic, right? I must be perfect, right? So understand this, the behavior is always driven by the emotion. When you name the emotion, you interrupt the automatic pattern, right? What we do is pattern interruption. So pattern recognition, then comes pattern interruption. So you need to interrupt that pattern by naming that emotion and taking that one small step that you can take in order to achieve the goal that you have set for yourself, right? And also creating a creating a space for a conscious choice, right? A conscious choice that you need to make, right? Now, step number two is something, of course, which is very close to my heart is inner child dialogue, right? Reprogramming that belief. See, belief was created by your inner child, by your subconscious, right? Inner child. Our subconscious stores everything in child format. Always remember, our subconscious remembers everything in child format. So that's the reason we say it inner child, right? So what I want you to do right now is just gently, gently keep your pen and paper, whatever you're making notes, just keep it down. Gently close your eyes for a couple of minutes, not even couple of minutes. What we are going to do is we are going to connect with our younger version of ourselves, right? Visualize your younger self. Take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. Visualize that younger version of yourself, the child who first made the decision to stay small. Sit with them and gently ask, what are you afraid will happen if I succeed? Gently ask, what are you afraid will happen if I succeed? Listen without judgment. If you want, you can also write it down. When you write, you are directly accessing your subconscious. So you can gently open your eyes and then offer them what they needed the most. Words they must have never heard. Put your hand on your heart and say these words to your inner child. I see you. Your pain was real, and it always was. Your pain is real, and it always was. I understand you. The decision you made then made complete sense. We are safe now. You don't have to keep protecting us this way. We are safe now. I see you. I understand you. And we are safe now. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And reflect, how are you feeling right now? Do let me know in the chat box, in the comments. Are you feeling better? Right? Are you feeling better? This is how we rewire our nervous system by allowing our subconscious to know that whatever happened, it was protecting you for better, right? Do not force yourself into massive, dramatic action, right? Allow your nervous system to rewire, right? Because it rewires through repeated experiences of safety. Okay. So instead of finishing everything, so the step number 3 that I want you to take, the step is safe action. Okay. First is, instead of finishing everything, start with just 10 minutes. Show your system that the beginning is safe, right? Show your nervous system that the beginning is safe. So take that one step action, and instead of perfection, aim for progress, right? Done and imperfect beats perfect and unstarted, right? So it's very important. And third is, instead of pressure, create safety, right? Reduce the stakes until action feels manageable, right? If you go ahead, and most of the times this happens, that we go ahead with a lot of excitement, that, you know what, I will do this and I will do that. And then what happens? We get stuck, right? We get stuck. So create that safety for yourself, reduce the stakes. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Consistency is never built through force. Okay, it's never built through force, but it is built through repeated feeling that this is okay, I am okay. Right? Makes sense? Give me some emoticons if this made sense to you all. Right? Now, understand this. In order for the self-mastery to happen, self-mastery is not about controlling yourself. It is about healing the part of you that feels out of control. Yes? We've been taught that growth requires grinding, that if we just push hard enough, discipline will eventually win. And that's what has happened, right? As a child, when we were pushed to schools, in the morning, we were rushed to schools, anxiety started beginning to develop, right? And for that, what happened? Our nervous system got set with that anxiety, right? But for those of us whose nervous system learned that safety and growth cannot coexist, force only deepens the wound. Understand this. Okay. So true self-mastery is an act of profound self-compassion. Let me repeat this. True self-mastery is an act of profound self-compassion, right? It is the slow, patient work of teaching your whole self, your mind, your body, that younger inner voice, that you are worthy of the life you are building. Make sense? Yes. So you don't, definitely you don't need more discipline. You need more compassion. And you know what? Discipline and consistency is a myth. I always tell my students that we work in cycles. Okay. There are going to be cycles of work and there are going to be cycles of rest, right? So, and that cycle also needs to be honored, right? You don't need to push harder. You don't need more willpower, because the moment your inner child feels safe, you won't have to fight yourself anymore, right? The resistance will dissolve, not because you've conquered it, but it, it no longer needed, or it no longer needed to protect you, right? So that is what I wanted to share today. I hope this has helped you understand this, that self-sabotage is self-protection. Your inner child is still driving. Okay. And that's the reason I always say that you're unconscious, right? Until you make your unconscious conscious, it will keep driving your life and you will call it fate, right? So awareness is the first step. Safety builds consistency. Always remember. And compassion is the path forward, right? So if this has helped you, please let me know in the comments. I want you all to share with me top 3 key takeaways that you've learned over the past few minutes that we are talking. And subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done, because every single day I'm coming up with these powerful topics which are going to help you get unstuck and build massive transformation, massive success for your life. Okay. My intention for each one of you is to be able to get that massive transformation and success in your life. Okay. Nobody should give this excuse, no, Apurva, my life is this, my life is that. I have so many challenges, I have so many troubles in my life. You are what you believe, right? You are what you believe. If you believe in your heart that I can't do this, I won't be able to do this, I am not meant for this, I'm not, born for this, then that's what is going to come true. But if you believe that I am born for something really great, I am here to do something really awesome from in my life, then you have to take massive actions for that, massive decisions for that, right? Because understand this, mediocrity has no pressure. Mediocrity has no pressure, right? Because if you want to be mediocre, you just have to blame others. You don't have to say anything, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to even take 100% accountability of your life, because that's what mediocres do. They just blame game, they just keep telling others or blaming others for their own life, and they never take 100% accountability of their own life. So if you want to be a mediocre, continue staying how you are, but ask yourself this question: are you really is that situation, is that being in that situation, is it really serving you, or what cost are you paying for it? Because it's going to cost you, it's going to cost you your life, right? So I hope this helped you. Self sabotage to self mastery. Self mastery is something, if you want to truly build self mastery, you have to come out of the mediocrity trap, right? With that, I end this particular video. Thank you so much for listening till the end. Please do share with me your key takeaways. Make sure you do it right now. Okay, after I end this call, I want you all to share your top key takeaways. And yes, I'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you so much once again. Bye bye.